Hey everybody, it's Chris from Family Geekery, and for the next 2 weeks, the family is going to be traveling to see other family for the holidays. So we are going to be bringing you some retro flashbacks from previous episodes, and this week we are going all the way back to December 2022 with episode 38, which is an episode about our favorite holiday movies and specials. So enjoy this retro flashback, and we'll see you again real soon. Welcome to episode 38 of the Family Geekery podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Amber.
And I'm Danny.
And this special episode, we're going to be talking about our favorite holiday movies, favorite holiday specials, that kind of stuff, because it is, at the time of recording, the holiday season. So from Family Geekery to you and your family, whatever you celebrate, think of us when you celebrate it.
Yeah.
Be like, boy, that was awfully nice of Family Geekery to wish us such a warm, non-denominational holiday. But yeah, so we did the favorite scary movies a while back, so we figured it would be kind of nifty to talk about our favorite holiday movies / specials. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, this was both easier and harder, because there's just so many good ones, but there's also just so many good ones. You guys think the same thing?
Sure.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, of course, we need to catch up with everybody. Last week, we had Amber and Sundar take over the podcast without us knowing it.
Yeah, big takeover.
Yeah.
And they did a great job talking about their card games, deck builder games. So we didn't get to catch up last week. So this week, let's talk about what's been going on. Anything been going on geeky? I'll start off this time.
Okay,
Wait,
you do that.
You guys talked about the video game awards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to talk about that. It was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, you covered, at least you covered the Flute Boy.
Most important part
so
of
that
the
was
show.
good. So during the video game awards, they had a special announcement that there was going to be, after the awards, a in-game concert in the game Sky Children of Light, which is a game / app. I think it's multi-platform, that was created by the same people that made the game Journey, which I loved. And I think, Amber, you played that also, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Were
really
they
good.
called that one game company or something like that? Something
Yeah,
funny
yeah,
like
I think
that.
that's that game company. So I logged into it after the thing. I took the bait, and it was actually kind of neat. They had a person singing. Now, it wasn't live, but it was, pre-canned. But throughout the thing, you've got a little avatar, a little floating weird avatar thingy. And as the song would start, then you and all the other thousands of people that were in the concert logged into it would become like a fish, and then you'd be able to swim around, while you're listening to the concert. And then the next song, you'd be bird, so you'd be able to fly around during the concert. And you could tap the screen, which made you kind of like make a noise. And that noise was always in key with whatever note the singer was singing. So I thought that was really neat. So we did that. And then I got a chance to play some games. I played...
Whoa.
Yeah. I played A Plague Tale, the original one, A Plague Tale Innocence. And
Which you
I
called
was
Rat
actually...
Game all week.
Yeah, I just called it the Rat Game. But I was actually playing it to test out the Amazon Luna game service. And as I was playing it, I told a friend of the podcast, Sundar, that I was playing that game. And he said, "Oh, you got that in Humble Bundle." And I said, "Yeah, I probably did." But I didn't remember that I had it from Humble Bundle. I was just playing it in the Luna service, but as I was testing that out, which is a streaming service, and streaming service, first-person type stealth game, probably not the best. It worked, but it wasn't great. So I went ahead and downloaded it on the Humble Bundle, installed it into Steam, and I played through that, and it was really good. It's a kind of like a stealth slash story driven slash there is some combat to it. But I'm getting old and lazy, and I don't like a lot of hard combat, and I also don't like a game that's on rails so much that there's only one possible way that you can get through whatever the scenario is, whether it's the stealth thing or the combat thing. I like where there's some variety to what you're able to do, get creative wise. And it starts you off, of course, you've only got like one weapon. You can throw rocket things. So you could either throw rocket things and make a noise, and the guard would walk that way and you go behind them, that type of, stealth situation. But then as you get more and more tools and attacks at your disposal, it gets really creative how you can get through all the different scenarios. So that was really good. Had a couple epic boss battles that were challenging, but not too challenging. So I really enjoyed that. So you'll have to try that out. So how about you guys? Who wants to talk about what they did this past week?
I didn't really do too much. But we did play some old games on the TV. Can't really tell you how that was set up because I walked in and it was already set up. But we played some Mario and some Kirby. I played some Kirby and that was pretty fun. I'm not very good at Mario though.
That was the Nintendo, what do they call it, mini system. It's just it looks like a Nintendo, and it's made by Nintendo, but it's got like 50 preloaded games on it. They put that out probably about 2 or 3 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good little way to hook it up to a modern TV because it's HDMI instead of the old RCA jacks, because TVs just don't have those anymore. So Nintendo figured if you wanted to keep playing those games, this is the way to do it. Of course, they've already sold it to you on the Wii, and they sold it to you on the Switch, and they sold it to you on the GameCube, and they sold it to you. I must have 17 different versions of Super Mario Brothers, but it's still fun. What about you, Danny?
I also played some Super Mario Brothers. I was just speed running, just seeing how far I could get, but without like the lives and all the extra hidden little things that, of course, Dad knows, but I don't. I didn't get very far.
You don't get far when you're speed running when you're not a skilled speed runner of the game.
Yeah. And
It's still
then
fun.
it was very fun. And then really the only other game I've been playing is Overwatch with the new season, and I've played around with the new tank Ramatra. It's pretty cool. I see a lot of people playing them. But yeah, just playing a little bit of that. I got my Baptiste achievement and my soldier achievement.
I started playing Soldier again, and I don't know why I ever stopped playing Soldier because I'm just too good at him. He's just too easy.
It's only DPS I really know how to play. It's not that hard.
And Baptiste is the healer version of him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Overwatch.
You're laughing at a game that you enjoy playing. That says something. Well, very good. So who's ready to start talking about holiday specials and holiday movies?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, I like that. All right. Who wants to kick it off? How about Danny?
Okay. Well, the first thing that came to mind, or one of the first things that came to mind, was Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas.
I literally just Googled that name because I remembered it existed.
It's
Well, there's a
it's
couple of them,
like
right? There's the once and then there's also Twice Upon a Christmas.
Oh
Was it like the
yeah.
sequel to it?
so yeah. But I think this one had like four stories to it. Um there's like Mickey and Minnie decorating and like Pluto messes up the tree and Mickey gets mad at him and it's really sad. And then there's the three ducks that
Uh-huh.
go into
You mean Louis?
the Santa shop.
Yeah, the workshop.
And I think Goofy and his son is in it? Or is that a different movie?
I don't know. All of the Once Upon a Christmas and Twice Upon a Christmas, they
They're
like
blurring.
mix up in my brain. I don't know which story's in which movie.
They're blurring together, but those always a good one.
Can't go wrong with Mickey Mouse for Christmas.
Yeah,
Yep.
except when he yells at Pluto.
Yeah, but then Pluto becomes a reindeer, so it's
Yeah,
okay.
he does.
Cool. What else you got?
I also have the Tim Allen Santa Claus movies.
You've seen those?
Yeah, I've seen them all. I think when we had cable, they would play, and I would just
Oh
watch
yeah.
them. They were always on and
Well, ABC Family would do, 25 days of
marathons.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they would play the same 25 movies every single year.
Right.
Yeah.
There's
I
a
don't know.
new Santa Claus this year. Have you seen that? It's called
Yeah.
Santa Clauses.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't remember that. I guess his wife is the lady from Lost.
Yeah. I always think it's funny how he became Santa because he killed Santa?
Yeah, he like fell off his roof. Santa
Yeah, and
does.
it's like a children's movie and it starts with Santa dying.
And then his kid finds out and his wife becomes Mrs. Claus, or I think his wife actually like breaks up with him or something. I don't know.
Something like
She
that.
doesn't want him to be Santa or something.
But then I
I
think
don't
the
know.
plot
Basically,
of the
Evan
second...
Almighty.
Yeah.
It's like Evan Almighty, but Santa instead of Jesus or Moses.
Yeah.
And I think in the
One of those
second one,
guys.
the whole plot is she has a baby and they have like a Christmas baby or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
They're
been a long
good.
time since I've seen those.
Yeah, me too, but they came to mind because there's a couple of them. Another one is all the claymation like Christmas movies. I think Rudolph is the one I can remember the most. I
Yeah,
thought those were really cool.
Those were all Rankin Bass. You heard that before? Those are the two
No.
guys that
Probably.
made those. Rankin Bass. They
With
also
the
made
Kris
they
Kringle
made the
one.
Rudolph, the Frosty, the Santa Claus is coming to town, which most people just refer to as the one with the Burgermeister Meisterburger.
And then there's the Baby New Year one.
Oh yeah, yep.
And that's what does that one have the hot guy and the cold guy? Because that's on
That's in
TikTok.
Mr. White Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in I think that's in like A Year Without Santa
Oh, that's a good one.
is another one. I think that's what it is. That those start blending together too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Rankin Bass later did The Hobbit and The Return to the King animations, which was in the 70s, and then later on they went on to make some shows in the 80s, including Thundercats, the original Thundercats.
Oh.
So they did some good stuff, those guys.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Let's see. I have this one can I think we talked about it in our Halloween episode, but Nightmare Before Christmas. I think you can play it at both holidays.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
definitely.
The soundtrack's good enough to watch it twice in a year.
Exactly.
You can play 2 minutes of it for Easter too.
Yeah. There's also like a turkey door that he runs into,
Yeah.
I think.
Just watch it every day. Easy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I have Frosty the Snowman, the animated one.
Yeah.
Which was also Rankin Bass.
Oh.
And I saw a TikTok about this movie, and it was the scene where they're naming him, and they're like, "Oh, what should we name him?" And did you see this?
Yeah.
And they were like, they like dubbed over one of the kids because he said, "Oh, let's name him Christopher Columbus," or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
I didn't know that's what they did.
I think one of the comments said he said Christopher Columbus, and they
Oof.
dubbed over like Gary.
Gary.
It's like, let's name him Gary.
When I saw it, it was like a screech or something.
Yeah. It's just a very mumbled like
Like a gah.
"Grr."
That's weird.
Yeah. So but that movie's we watched it as a kid a lot with our grandparents.
Yeah.
So that one's a sweet one.
Yep. Gotta have Frost every year.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
But that's my list.
All right.
Good.
Let's kick it over to Amber then.
All right. So a couple of those I have on my list also. Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, which I remembered existed 1 minute before recording the podcast. Um, and then, Frosty the Snowman and Nightmare Before Christmas. Very good ones. Um, one that I have, which is really niche, is My Little Pony: A Very Minty Christmas.
I remember that.
I watched it probably every year, maybe even more than once a year, but it was so good. It was it was Minty the pony, and this was the best My Little Pony era in my opinion. Before they went to the 3D animation and got weird. This was good My Little Pony era. And Minty was like ruining Christmas somehow. I think she was like stealing from people or something.
There was some lesson to be learned, of course.
Yeah. And so then at she learns about the spirit of Christmas and starts giving things instead of taking things, and there's a big Christmas tree, and everyone's happy at the end. And it was cool. It was I don't know. Probably very short. But it was a good one.
They could have redone that whole thing with the Care Bears and just had a Minty Bear, and it would have been the same story.
Definitely.
Same lesson learned in the end.
Yeah. But I liked Minty. She was like blue, so of course, she was my favorite. But I don't even think she exists in the new era of My Little Pony. But that's whatever. They come and they go. I also have, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. One part that I really like is the island of misfit toys. I think they're just so precious. They're so
Yeah.
cute. And yeah, and my last one is the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. It has a name.
Ghosts of Christmas Eve.
Ghosts of Christmas Eve. And that's my favorite. We watch it every single year on Christmas Eve. It's my favorite Christmas tradition, and it's great music. It's great fun. And I love it. It's just so memorable for me. And if we ever go a single year without it, then I'm gonna be real sad.
Yeah, that was actually a made-for-TV special for Fox Family back in 1999. And it got released on DVD in 2001. And I'm sure I bought it pretty much then because I was a big TSO fan. And we've watched it every year since then. Now I've got 3 copies of the DVD so that as the kids grow up and leave the house, they can take one with them and carry on the tradition if they wish.
Of course.
But we've also digitized it and put it on a Plex server, and now we can stream it in our house so we don't have to hook up a DVD player on Christmas Eve.
Who has those nowadays?
Yeah, no. I think my parents do.
Then they can watch Frosty the Snowman.
They can put in videotapes too, I think, still.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, good stuff. Anything else on your list?
Nope, nothing that Danny already covered. A little steal.
Yeah, I know we got a lot of overlap on our list, I'm sure.
I mean,
I
that's what
saved you
happens
that
when
last
you
one.
grow up with someone. I know. I was like, she better not take it. My favorite Christmas tradition. That's mine.
Cool. Well, my list obviously has all the Rankin Bass specials on it because those are always classics. Something that you knew you could watch every year. You knew it was going to be on TV at some point. One I'm surprised you didn't list was How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Which one?
Well, which one's the best one? Which one do you
The
think is the
live
best
action.
one? You like the live action one?
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah.
original one, the animation one.
Mm.
Just because
He
it's
looks-
just like all the other animation that I grew up with
Yeah.
the Cat in the Hat and the.
See, I like the live action Cat in the Hat too.
No.
It's a little scary.
He's a little weird looking. But yeah, that's so Grinch. Gotta love that. As much as it gets made fun of, you know where I'm going with this?
Maybe.
The Star Wars Christmas special.
Oh.
I don't
Didn't we watch half of it?
I don't
or-
defend that at all, but I can tell you, as a small kid, when Star Wars was everything for us, when they said there's going to be a Star Wars Christmas special, and they had, you know, in the promo and in the opening, like, starring Mark Hamill, starring Carrie Fisher, you're like, yes, this, you know, Star Wars is great, so I want more Star Wars. And then they end up to be like in 4 seconds of it. And the rest of it is just a hot mess. You're like, what the heck is this?
Is that the one with Chewbacca's family?
Well, there's a couple of them.
Oh.
But yeah, there was the one where Chewbacca goes home for Christmas or something, and he's got cartoonish parents, of course, you know. So yeah, I don't defend that special at all, but I can tell you the hype was real for sure. So it was quite a letdown. You guys didn't mention Charlie Brown's Christmas? You a fan of the Charlie Brown Christmas?
I barely remember that one.
Yeah.
I remember the Thanksgiving one more. The only thing, and the Great Pumpkin or whatever.
Right. But nothing more iconic than the sad little tree that they got. That's very iconic. What else? Now I've got on my list here a Emmy award-winning animated special that is not on any of the list. I Googled today, you know, best Christmas movies, best holiday specials, best TV shows. And I went through some that was like the top 50, the top 100, you know, the top of all time. And none of them had this on the list. Yet it won an Emmy for Outstanding Animated Special. And it is Will Vinton's Claymation Christmas Celebration.
What's that?
From 1989. So are you familiar with the California Raisins at all?
Yes.
No.
So the California Raisins, back in the 80s, there was a commercial for, you know how they have like commercials for commodities like cotton? Like this brought to you by cotton. Well, they had basically a commercial for raisins, California raisins, and they had little claymation versions of raisins singing "Heard It Through the Grapevine." So they have all got sunglasses on, and they're singing like the Temptations or like Gladys Knight and the Pips, who sang the "Heard It Through the Grapevine" song, and they were promoting raisins. Well, that commercial got so popular that they started selling merch. Like there was, the little plastic Smurfs that you can buy back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, they had little plastic raisins. They had
Oh,
T-shirts. They
yum.
had all kinds of stuff. So it got so popular that they actually made a Christmas special, and the Christmas special was all claymation, and the last act of it was the California raisins. So let me explain to you this and why it's like near top of my list. So it's a Christmas special that's hosted by two dinosaurs,
What?
Rex and Herb. And Rex
Oh.
is kind of like the straight-laced guy, and I think Herb is kind of the screw-up. And they're kind of announcing each song as they go. And each song is its own little video, a claymation, version of a video. And so here's some of the selections from this Christmas special. The first song is the biblical magi sing the verses of We Three Kings traditionally, while their camels sing the chorus in the style of doo-wop.
What?
So you got the three kings singing "We Three Kings," the very
Yeah.
3/4 waltz, version. And then when it cuts to the other part, it's all these camels with sunglasses on singing almost like a jazzy, and it's cut time. It's Star of Wonder, Star of Night, Star of Boy. It's I thought that was like the best thing ever, seeing that. All right, so the next song is at the Notre Dame Cathedral. The Paris Bell Harmonic Group of anthropomorphic church bells who strike their own heads with chime hammers to achieve their respective notes perform Care of the Bells.
Oh my
The
gosh.
low C bell constantly dawdles and chimes out of tune, enraging the maestro, who's Quasimodo, who uses a slingshot on the bell to get the proper tone at the end.
Wait, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's
on
a great
YouTube.
It's a great little thing. All of this is available on YouTube. Let's see. A children's choir sings "O Christmas Tree" with a video depicting various scenes taking place inside of Christmas ornaments. Angels We Have Heard on High is set to a walrus couple doing an interpretive ice ballet while several luckless penguins watch. And then there's a very beautiful Joy to the World version that's kind of soul jazzy, set in a church. And then the California Raisins perform a cover of the Temptations version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Huh.
So now, as this is going on, in between each of the songs, Rex is trying to clarify the true pronunciation and meaning of the term wassail. As we know from the Christmas Carol, "Here We Come a-Wassailing." You've heard that song before?
No.
Okay, well, it's a song. "Here We Come a-Wassailing," and throughout the show, different groups are coming through singing it, but they're singing it with the wrong word. So first there is a kennel of dogs selling waffles from a vendor's wagon, singing "Here We Come a-Waffling."
Nice.
Then there's a gaggle of straggling geese carrying baskets of goodies, singing "Here We Are a-Waddling."
Oh.
And then there's a herd of pigs on a John Deere-styled field wagon, gorging themselves on an abundance of assorted fruits, singing "Here We Are a-Wallowing." And then finally, they get it right, and the guy, Rex, is justified in saying it's actually wassail, not waffle or waddle or wallow.
What does wassail mean?
Wassail is like almost like a spiced apple cider, like a hot drink.
Oh. Hot Dr. Pepper.
Maybe not. But yeah, that's a great special. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube. It's very dated, but it's still funny, especially the bells. The bells are funny. Let's see. we can't talk about great Christmas movies without talking about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I thought you were gonna talk about that one earlier, not the Star Wars
Yeah,
one.
I mean that's one that you just have to watch every year, and it's funny every year.
Yeah.
And it's as a kid I'd watch it, and it was funny just because it was funny, right? As a kid, you like fart jokes, you know. You're very simplified in your palette of comedy. But as an adult, it just hits hard because the dude's just trying to give his family the best Christmas ever, and just everything goes wrong around him, and then he just like the original Vacation where he's trying to give the best vacation ever, and everything goes wrong around him, and then until he finally flips. So it's as a father, I can truly relate, and maybe I'll flip this year. That would be fun.
Why is it National Lampoon? What is that?
So that was kind of like a comedy group. It was a magazine comedy group, kind of like
Oh,
Saturday Night Live would be, or Mad.
okay.
Mad was a magazine and a comedy type thing,
Yeah.
publisher. So National
Okay.
Lampoon was the same thing. They did a lot of other movies and stuff too.
Just the ones that aren't as famous as the vacation movies.
Well, there's a not so famous one called Van Wilder that kicked off a certain Deadpool character.
Oh,
I
what?
think that was like one of Ryan Reynolds' first things. But yep, so that's a classic. And then on behalf of Mom, I'd have to say that one that she grew up watching that now I love to watch every year also is It's a Wonderful Life with
I
Jimmy
don't think I've
Stewart
ever seen that.
and Donna Reed. What? You've
Not all
never
the way
seen that?
through. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets her wings.
Yeah,
Is that what that's
that's the
from?
only part you've seen.
And they watch the Macy's parade, right?
I'm not sure.
Oh, there's one black and white movie that has the Macy's parade in it.
Oh, you're thinking of Miracle on 34th Street,
Oh,
since Macy's is on 34th Street
oh,
in New York.
they're all the same, right?
Yeah, you can easily mix those two up. They're both classics back from the black and white days. But yeah, it's a great story. Dude is down on his luck and he wishes he wasn't alive, and then they go on to show him everything. The angel goes on to show him everything that would change if he was never alive. And so that's a good one. But yeah, anything else? Any other things come to mind as we were talking?
Well, we did just watch the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special on
That's
Disney
true.
Plus.
And that is
And
very right up the alley of family geekery, isn't it?
yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it was goofy. It was silly. It was, what you'd expect from a Guardians of the Galaxy um, Christmas special. It's kind of silly and cute.
I thought it
Yeah.
was really good. They you can, if you look close enough, you can identify all the cost saving things they do in between a blockbuster movie and a Christmas special that's free on Disney Plus. But they actually did a pretty good job.
And they probably filmed it while they were, already in their makeup and stuff for the new Guardians movie. So,
If so, and don't tell Drax this, but it looked like he put on a couple pounds. I thought it was in between tapings because he looked a little out of shape.
oh,
It's the Christmas cookies.
but isn't he like a wrestler in real life?
He was a wrestler.
Oh,
I doubt he has to do that anymore.
true. He probably doesn't need to do anything. He does
Yeah.
those commercials.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yep.
bold of them to like reveal the Mantis and Star-Lord are siblings things in a Christmas special.
Yeah. I remember
So
hearing about that, and I thought maybe I missed that in one of the movies.
Yeah, me
yeah,
too.
because I saw a TikTok and I thought it was a theory, but I guess it was just someone who had already seen the special. So
Spoiler alert.
yeah,
Is that like in the comics?
I
Not
don't
sure.
think so. Well, because Ego isn't Star-Lord's dad in the comics. Come on, Danny,
Oh.
don't you remember our episode where Star-Lord was there? It's the
Sure.
Groot one.
Oh, was it?
It was your
I think so.
episode.
It was your episode.
I knew that.
That was like many episodes ago. Can't remember that.
That's funny.
Well, cool. And anything else come to mind?
Not for me.
I don't think so.
Alrighty. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. If you want to, go ahead and send us an email, podcast@familygeekery.com, and tell us what your favorite holiday specials are or holiday traditions. And thank you for listening to the show. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel. Always different stuff's going on there. And until next time, peace out.
Peace out.
And geek out.
Geek out.
Happy holidays!
Thank you for listening to the Family Geekery podcast. For more information, visit www.familygeekery.com. Don't forget to subscribe at your favorite podcast provider. And until next time, peace out and geek out.